right, good evening, everyone. So today we are looking at Egypt, maximizing the potential of Egyptian market under AfCFTA. Maximizing potential of African market under the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. So today we are looking at Egypt. Egypt is a very interesting country, a North African country with enormous potential. Egypt is among the top economy in Africa, top 5 economy in Africa: Nigeria, Angola, South Africa, Morocco, and Egypt. These are the top economy in Africa, and these are market to watch out for. Market with reasonable population and purchasing power that may be of interest to anyone trying to go into export business. Here is Egypt, and you can see the Suez Canal that was recently creating problem. You know, I understand this canal was dug over a period of 10 years, and millions of people were involved in that job many years ago to link the Red Sea to Mediterranean Sea and be able to get into Europe easily, rather than going through the Atlantic Pacific Ocean to get to Europe. And this has been a very fast route. But you know, recently there was a big challenge in that Suez Canal. Carrying about 12%, that route, I understand, carry about 12% of trade in the world. And that was blocked with a long queue of vessels trying to pass until the evergreen vessel eventually was released from that canal. So we're talking about the Egyptian market today. Egypt is a fairly large country with a population of almost 100 million people. It's also, like Nigeria, is a lower middle income country. The ranking is a lot better on the ease of doing business, 114, better than Nigeria, because it's got 60 in the overall score on the ease of doing business index. And you can see from the screen that the score was very good for starting business, registering property, getting credit. This is a country that you really want to consider under AfCFTA, like I said, at least for the reason of the population, the market, but you also must be conscious of the predominant religion of the people. Remember, I've said severally, that affect what they buy and how they buy. That affect what they buy and how they buy. A snapshot of economic, an economic snapshot, a market snapshot of Egypt reveal the location of Egypt. You can see North Africa bordering the Mediterranean Sea between Libya and Gaza Strip, Red Sea north and the Red Sea north of Sudan, and include the Asian Sinai Peninsula. But before I continue, I would like to know, please, if you can hear me, kindly indicate, please. If you can hear me, kindly indicate, please. Let me be sure. I'm not sure I've heard from anyone joining. If you can hear me, kindly indicate to be sure I'm talking to all the listeners. You can drop a message in the chat box. Can you hear? Okay, very good. Bid Ann, thank you very much. Eva, oh, very good, very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Religion, predominantly Muslim, 90% Muslim, and 10% different kind of Christianity, different sect of Christianity rather, but 90% Muslim. It has 515 kilometers of waterways. 515 kilometers of waterways, coastline. Remember, some African countries are landlocked. I'm sure you know the implication of that. Some African countries are landlocked. And the implication of that is that they will only be able to receive goods by air, by road, and by rail. And about 15 or 16 African countries fall in that category. But Egypt has a coastline of 515 kilometers. As a matter of fact, it's bordering the Suez Canal, where a lot of vessels pass through to access the European market. Estimated population July 2020 is 104. The one I showed earlier was at 119. 104 million. So practically half of Nigerian population. Language, Arabic, English, French. Agri product, cotton. In fact, cotton is a big deal in Egypt. Cotton is a very big deal in Egypt in terms of how the value chain have been developed. Cotton. Then rice, corn, wheat, beans, fruit, vegetables, cattle, water, buffalo, sheep, and goat. How about the industry? Textile, food processing, tourism, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, hydrocarbon, construction, cement, metal, light, and manufacture. It's a lower middle-income countries into a number of manufacturing, metal and light manufacturers. Lower middle-income country, at least a lot better than some other African countries that are low-income country. Remember, low-income country means an average person in that country earns less than $1,000. An average person earns less than $1,000. But lower middle, between $1,000 and $4,000. The GDP of this country also is huge. About a quarter or about 3/4 of Nigerian GDP, $303 billion. So, no doubt, that is a market to consider. No doubt, that is a market to consider. As usual, household consumption component of the GDP as usual. In fact, I'm shocked at what I'm seeing in Egypt. And the reason why I'm shocked at what I'm seeing in Egypt is this. Remember, household consumption component is usually high, mostly in countries that are poor. Basically living for survival. And what that country will typically buy are retail product, food item, drugs, agri product, personal care product, basically item needed for survival. Basically item needed for survival. Basically item needed for survival. And those are the items we're buying during the COVID lockdown. Those are items we're buying during the COVID lockdown. basically item needed for survival. So this country have 86% of the consumption component of the GDP to be household consumption. That is amazing. And the per capita income, you can see, is above 1,000. That's what makes it to be lower middle income country. It's above 1,000. 2,690. You also notice that this country have a lot of services, industry, then agri. There seems to be very little agri going on, or at least the contribution of agri very low. To the productivity of that country. Agri is contributing just about $30 billion. Like many African countries, Egypt is not left behind. In age structure, you can see is showing almost 50% of the population of the Egyptians, almost 50%, a whopping 50% of the population of Egyptians are below 25 years. You know, this is another very, very crucial data. Very, very crucial data. Why is the data crucial? The data is crucial because it tells us who, among other things, should be our primary target. Who, among other things, should be our primary target in that country? Who is it? Who should be our primary target in that country? Among other things. Among other things. Among other things. With 50% below 25, anyone that wants to sell in that country and is looking at mass market, unless you are looking at a niche market, you might need to put that into consideration. Remember the question I will frequently ask every week about whatever you want to export. That item, can you export it? Is there a demand for it? Is there a demand for it? Do you have a compelling value proposition? Do you understand your target market? Can you meet the market price expectation? Do you have a distribution and marketing plan? Do you have the capacity and capability to export that item? Have you investigated payment issue on that in that country? Can you fund your export drive? Have you completed an export plan? Have you completed an export plan?